Good afternoon. I'm now going to call the Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022 meeting of the Norfolk County Commissioners to order. On Thursday, March 12th, 2020, Governor Charles Baker issued an order suspending certain provisions of the Mass Open Meeting Law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20. That order was effective immediately and until it is rescinded or the state of emergency is terminated. On July 17th, 2022, the legislature, the order was extended until March 31st, 2023. I'm going to ask you to join me in saluting the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Call the meeting to order. I'm going to take the roll. Commissioner Stady.
Present.
Commissioner Collins.
Present.
And Commissioner Shea is present. We had the pleasure today of giving out some opera funds, and we gave them some. The funds today are going to go to the town of Stoughton. So I would like to, if we have no objection, have them come in and we'll do the opera award to Stoughton first. And take it
Already
out of
done,
order.
actually. We awarded it last week.
Oh,
This was the check
Yeah.
presentation.
oh, I'm
Check-
sorry.
That's all right.
They can come on.
Yeah,
I was
they
on
can.
it.
Sure.
Okay, we want to say hello to Deborah Roberts, Chairman of the Board, Joe McCristy, a longtime board member, and our Norfolk County Advisory Board member, and Mark Tisdale, who is, are you the acting manager, man?
Interim town manager.
Interim town manager. So welcome, folks, and we did award the money last week. I should have remembered, I was at the meeting, but we're well into this federal phase, and it was so new to us a year or two ago, or a year and a half ago. We probably weren't as optimistic as we are today, but I want to tell you that it's going smashingly well, and we're up to speed, and so far so good. That any little nooks and crannies and problems we've had have been ironed out. We've had great cooperation from the federal government. We had great cooperation from our congressman, and Senator Markey was helpful with us in solving one of the brief problems that we had. So it's going smoothly. We don't want to tell you how to use your money. We are the conduit, for which the money comes from the federal treasury to the counties, and then there's a big pack of rules and regulations that go with it. But you've met all the goals, and we're happy to award the money. I'm going to ask Director Cronin, is this the full amount of Sultan's?
I believe it is. Yeah, they've put in their full allotment under this particular.
And the money is going for?
It's a public safety and health facility that I believe they're renovating.
Oh, okay.
You'd like to
Sure.
have the chair describe more?
Can we have the chair describe it to us, Deborah?
Sure.
What you're going to use the money for?
Do you want to, Joe, what are you going to do?
Yes, I would.
Have a seat. Be comfortable.
First of all, I would like to thank you on behalf of the town of Stoughton for $5.4 million. We're going to put it to good use. I would also like to turn the mic over to our town manager, Mark Tisdale, so he can really talk about how we're going to put it to use. And then the Joe McCrisky, who started the process with our previous town manager, Dr. Robin Grimm. I would like you to allow him to say a few words because he really kicked off the process. I'm just on the back end collecting the money and putting it to good use.
Smart move.
So thank you.
There you go.
Good job.
All
Thank you,
right.
money.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thank you very much.
Mark.
Thank you, Deborah. We want to thank the county completely for your cooperation in this. I think, and John Cronin has been critical in his staff. They've been great to work with. The county commissioners have been awesome to work with. Everybody's been communicating with us pretty much weekly for the last 3 or 4 months. And it's not necessarily us having to reach out to the county, you guys have been reaching out to us, which is sometimes doesn't always happen. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And the $5.4 million will definitely go a long way. It literally makes the project feasible for us to continue forward for our emergency operations center and right in the downtown Stoughton. So we're going to be renovating the old fire station right on Freeman Street into a emergency operations center. So
Wow, that's great.
What's the timetable on that? Starting spring?
yeah, so design's already started. It'll be the project's two parts. The first part is building a fire station and relocate the fire station that's there.
Right.
And the second part is the emergency operations center where all the administrative, people will be located, like the chiefs and their assistants and the nurses will be in there also.
Fantastic.
So we'll have a nice campus in the downtown for all the town departments. So thank you very much to the group here. It's amazing.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay,
Please say something.
This feels comfortable, Dick.
Don't get too comfortable. Yeah, my friend, remember?
Yeah, exactly. No, just to follow it up, commissioners, thank you so much. John, thank you for all your help as being here involved and going back with the county commissioners back to 92 when I was first elected. There's always been a great relationship with municipal government and our county commissioners. You've always been there for the town. This was one of those processes that everybody outdid themselves, from our finance people to Chairman Roberts, on following up to make sure we didn't lose momentum. And this is one of those examples of how county government and the towns within can work with the commissioners, for the good of everybody in our county. This was great. The staff here, really took an investment on this, and they made this as much their project as ours. So on behalf of the town, and again, and I think I speak for Chairwoman Roberts, thank you for what you did to help the town of Stoughton. Thank you.
okay,
I think if I could, Mr.
sure, go
Chairman,
ahead.
just maybe it became a personal project because at our meetings, and I know you have other things to do, but John Cronin was terrific. He'd be like, and for Commissioner Stady, we're working with Stoughton. We're working with Stoughton. He was constantly getting updates from him, and I was constantly checking in with, Select Board Member McCrisky and others. It's great to see it finally result today. Now the big step is over. Now the project will go forward. So we're following that closely. It's great. We'll take about 6 months ago we first met now with the former administrator, and we did John
town manager
Cronin.
and then acting town manager Mark Tisdale. Mark is the greatest employee that we have in the building. In his job as engineer, he stepped up to the plate as the acting town manager,
Yep.
and we didn't miss a cylinder. Moving forward, which was great because sometimes just learning, and Mark was right all over that. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, there
it's
you
a
go.
great thing for all of us. Yeah, great.
We're great to
Thank
work
you for
with
your
you.
hard work.
You're welcome. I'm pleased to do that, and we're looking forward to better things ahead. Right, first of all.
Exactly.
Okay,
Commissioner Collins,
congratulations.
thank you very much.
Okay,
Chairman Shea, thank you so much.
Thank you. And Dick will be-
Again,
Dick will be down with the check.
That's right. I'll bring it over in person. How's that? Might cost you a cup of coffee.
Oh, we
That's
love
all I
coffee.
want. We love coffee.
Thank you all so very
All
much.
right.
Okay,
Take care.
good luck.
All right. Nice to see you all.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll see you soon. All right. Anything else? Give us a yell.
Thanks.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Take care.
Take care, Mark.
Thanks again.
Joe, take care. John,
Mark, all the best. You've been great.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck, man. Thank you.
Take care, Madam Chair.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Nice to see you.
Do we know exactly what time
1:30.
the executive session is?
He was hoping for around 1:30. So
Okay.
if you want to move that.
Well, if no one has any objection, I'd like to go to item number 9. Carl is here from Wallace and Recreation Center for his update. Did we get it done by 1:30? If we don't, keep it
Sure,
going.
we can do that.
And then we'll go back to all the minutes, et cetera, and then the executive session.
That sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Without objection, we're going to go to item number 9.
All right.
We have our superintendent of Wallace, Carl Miner of the Wallace and Recreation Facility. And he's going to give an update and a course on some improvements at the course and other activities. Good afternoon, Carl.
Thank you, Chairman.
How are you?
Carl cleans up good. We started yesterday, he was just getting off a mower or something.
30, yeah.
Are they paving today?
No, they're not. They've only done the binder near the tennis courts. And I've asked, the pavers to have both parking lots open for the weekend, because it's gonna be very
Makes sense.
busy with tennis and golf.
Makes a big difference. So I noticed, I was by there the other day. It's been Monday.
It sure does.
Yeah, it does.
All right, some of the things that's been going on over there at Walston, the maintenance facility roof has been completed. There's small leaks. I have a call into the contractor to fix that. He said he'd be right out. Norfolk County Engineering is doing the site plan for the restroom on the course. I'll be working with Patrick Higgins to move forward on the project. He has some experience in this matter. We just discussed this. The parking lot is underway. I'm not sure when it'll be completed. The playground has been delivered and is being installed right now. I've gotten a quote from Bogan Tree to remove a grove of trees right around the playground. That the leaves and the berries from the trees won't shed on the playground. And it's also a safety issue. People running around in there. I've also gotten a quote I haven't gotten a quote yet from Folsom to remove the existing benches and install 7 new ones that are on site.
Carl, through you, Mr. Chair, if I could, I've asked Bill to pull up some pictures that I think tell a little bit of Carl's story that we took
Okay.
yesterday, and Carl.
These pictures taken this week at the golf course. Okay.
Yesterday and a couple today from you.
Couple today. Wow.
Yeah. Carl updated them.
So
Is there any way you can make those bigger, Bill?
Not really.
Not easy. All right.
okay.
So in the upper left, Carl, that's standing on the playground, looking at the courts. That's the new surface binding coat, I think you called
Yes.
it. That's gone in. That area was particularly beat up. If you've been up there, it was full of potholes and degraded
It was.
asphalt surface.
Yeah.
The next picture, scrolling down, is looking to the right of that same area. We took a picture of the delivered product yesterday. There was no site activity, but in a second you'll see some of the developments that have occurred today relative to the product. That's all staged for the playground. You can scroll down, Bill. So that'll be the lot where the playground will go, pretty much consuming the current area of the playground. I want to point out those beautiful maple trees are about 30 years old. They were planted by a man with a green thumb. Isn't that right?
I did.
Yeah. Those
About
cross trees.
27 years ago.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Really?
Are we keeping those trees?
I'm
Yes,
not losing those trees, are we? Oh, they're beautiful.
No,
they're
the
beautiful.
trees that he's taken down,
it's everything
you
to the
you look
left.
at them, you know they need to come down.
Okay,
They're
okay.
up the hill like to the right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
this
So those-
picture,
those-
if you're familiar with the layout, the next one below the playground is associated, it's a view from the cart barn looking down. This is a walking path that takes you from the cart barn down towards the playground. Everything on the left, Carl, I think
Yeah.
you're
Yes.
having removed, right?
Right.
Yeah, those benches are really rough.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned, how many benches did we have? 7?
We purchased 7. Yeah.
And they're in storage. We're waiting for a quote to install them. There are a total of 14, however, that are in place right now.
Yes.
So I'll try to secure the additional funds for the remaining 7 in our December advisory board meeting through the commissioners. That way we can order them and have them, delivered in time for the spring and complete the replacement of all those old legacy benches that had that classic MDC look with the concrete stanchion and the wooden benches. And it'll improve the area dramatically and make it more suitable for seating. Bill, if you could scroll. Carl, if you want to describe the image here with the Bobcat.
Yes. That is a hill where we removed the stairs. And what we did was with the golf course architect, we designed a walking path up around in front of the third tee. So it would be less of a hill to walk up, more gradual. And that's next to the existing cart path on the side of the sod.
Is that the one that they had an easement on or something? The fence?
No.
It was near,
that was
okay,
not-
different one.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
The, in the December advisory board meeting, we will be asking for an additional 10,000, which came out of my budget, to, for more drainage and sod work. If we didn't do it, it would have just washed out and wouldn't have worked.
So effectively, right beyond where that Bobcat is, Bill, if you could just scroll up. The commissioners look to the left. That was the slope hill where the old stairs were that were installed some time ago
Yes.
that were not compliant and were degrading. They've been removed. So the hill is being returned to its natural state. Golfers can now park where this picture was taken and or walk up that path to the left. The whole, you can scroll down, Bill, where the golf cart is. The tee box is right behind that golf cart. And by the way, that's one of the most picturesque holes on the whole course, by the way, as you're driving into the abyss there. That's a beautiful hole. Sure, move up, Bill. There's just a couple more. Unfortunately, we can't zoom in. We took this picture as we approach from the front gate. This is looking down on the courts, which were fully occupied, Carl, on a Tuesday morning. All of them, actually. The pickleball, all the courts were occupied. You can see the paving all the way around. Really presents a nice, clean image for the course as a big improvement over what had previously been there. And then I think there's a couple of pictures here. We just show the recent updates to the pictures. And then, Bill, I think you had one more image from Carl. So you took
There
that
you
today, Carl?
Look at that.
So this is the activity of
Right away,
the
huh?
structure going up.
Yeah. Very nice. Very
That the enclosure, if you may remember, when it's done, will include a small 4-foot fence demising the area.
Great.
Carl, if you want to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mark Munjum, the golf course architect, is working on various projects for golf course improvements. Some of the things I'm having look at is the second cart path going from the second tee all the way to the third tee. Really needs to be replaced. The number 15 cart path, which goes down a severe hill. We try to make the hill less severe. We had a lot of problems during the year, people flipping carts going down that hill.
Wow.
At the bottom, they just take it out of gear and just fly. So he's going to look at that, and he's going to look at redoing the bunker on 10 and 11 T drainage. So that'll be coming out of the $80,000 in the budget for golf course renovation. The pole and netting on 12 pole still needs to be scheduled for completion. Cedar fence repairs need to be scheduled. I'm meeting with United Fence either this afternoon or tomorrow. And hopefully we can get that done. And the concrete tennis wall has been completed. So that's another thing that's been done. I have some financial information.
Thank you. You pulled for me? Oh,
Yeah.
Grab it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
there you go.
Thanks, Dick.
No problem.
This is the first sheet is 2022 income expenses and administrative expenses, and you get the net revenue at the bottom. The second part here is something that Dana put together for you. It's got fiscal year comparison, July 1st to October 1st of from 2019 to 2022. And then the calendar year comparison, March 1st to October 31st for the last 4 years. Something to point out, the current revenue is down 30,000, 21 to 22. A lot of that is because the younger people like to walk, get more walking traffic out there. And we also had a rainy fall, so the pipe went out. And then the next page kind of explains March to June, 2019, it was the fourth wettest April since the 1800s. 2020, of course, was COVID. They closed for a couple of weeks or something, and we had restricted tea times. And then, as you see, 2020 was off the charts for the period through July and August. And then 2022, we had a rainy fall. Those were the rounds played.
You still have a ways to go for this year though, right? When do you shut down this year?
December 10th.
For another month?
Mhm.
5 weeks?
The weather holds up, that's a.
Yeah, especially through next week, Aaron. Right through, it's supposed to be great.
And the next part is a comparison with our rates and the area, the area golf courses. As you see, Furnace Brook is on it this year, being the new public course in our area. And it shows our rates are fair and equal to most of the other ones. We will be talking to our peers over the winter, see what their rates are going to be for the next year, and go from there.
Okay, are you done, Carl? I don't want to,
Yes.
okay. I'm going to open it up to questions. I have one minor, maybe two, but commissioners, if you have any questions.
Sure, just, good job on this. Thank you for doing it. The rates then are consistent with the other competitor directly, Quincy, right?
That's the
It's the
list
same.
at the
It's
back.
Furnace Brook, right?
This Furnace Brook,
Yeah.
and all these are either public or municipal.
Braintree is in there,
Um,
Furnace Brook.
My question was, and it probably, I think it's self-evident, but I know there was some talk during the campaign about the golf course losing money, but I believe now I see the reason they were using the Abraham consultant report, which was based on 20 during the pandemic.
Mhm.
It seems what you're saying is we're looking at a positive cash flow, right? In their revenue,
Yes.
140,000? Okay, that's great. That's great. And it could be higher, right? You're saying maybe?
It could
Maybe, could be, right?
Mhm.
As of today, so
Yeah,
that's good.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
good then.
Yeah.
That's great. Now, that include items like, the playground and things like that, or is that we take capital items out? We take capital items out?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just the operation of
Correct.
the golf course, right?
But those are paid for. We wouldn't do them if.
Right, understood. Okay. That's great. Great job. Really, thank you.
I
Very
think this
good
is
to
going to be good in December.
Yeah.
We can include this in their packet.
Yeah.
It always comes up.
Right.
I think the pictures are good. I think, there's still more to be done, but
Mr. Chairman, do you excuse me for 1 minute,
sure.
please? Okay.
And, okay, questions?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yes, I had a quick question. Actually, Carl and I had talked about this before the meeting started, but one of the questions that came up with the League of Women Voters was how much do we pull in at the golf course on a yearly basis? And so I explained that generally it's about 100 grand, some hopefully sometimes more. But we did have a couple of down years with COVID, and and you're the master of the golf course. So was that an accurate statement, Carl?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to confirm that.
Carl, memberships.
Oh, and one other footnote, this excludes any restaurant revenue or any restaurant contractual obligations. That's a separate cash flow. Correct?
I believe that is the restaurant rent is in.
Is it under contractual
It's-
services?
yeah, right, no,
Yeah,
it's
right there.
On the
It
income,
does show it
yes.
as rental income.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Okay.
stand corrected. I'm sorry. That's the 31,085.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Cal, explain to us again, because it's the one question I get most consistently. Memberships, a couple of years ago, we stopped them because of the competition. I mean, we want to leave some space for the day league golf, basically. That's the reason.
Yes.
Then this year, did we open up a tad or no?
It did open up, we did a lottery for a number of spots
Right, and we filled them.
and we filled them right away.
So you don't know where we'll be next year.
Not at this moment.
Okay,
All
all
right.
right.
There
That's
could be some openings, some people, might have,
I mean, we have
asked
we have a wider goal than, we're not a
Mhm.
closed corporation, but a
Right.
closed club.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's value in membership and probably the members provide an added value to us too, but we are a quasi-public golf course that, serves the public, so people can come up there and have reasonable assumption they're gonna get out.
right.
It's better to be crowded than not crowded, but,
Yeah. No,
so I think,
if I could follow up with your thought, you made me think of something else
Sure.
too, if I could, real quick. So I remember that Abraham report and some of the things that came up. That was a great discussion we had when I first got on the board about membership versus being a public course.
Mhm.
What about the use of technology also? Wasn't it something that we were looking at or we're going to do to use technology to
Yeah.
facilitate, let people know starting times and
Yep.
what's availability?
Um,
How are we doing on that?
We are online with that,
Okay,
cloud-based technology.
we are.
Yep.
Great.
they call
That's
and put
great.
somewhere they,
That's
And
good.
they call
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
And we do have,
I forgot all about it.
online.
So you must have seen an improvement there, right? In terms of, yeah, that's great. Good. My goal
Okay,
is to
well,
play there.
I
I'm
mean,
playing
I-
there next summer.
You got it.
That's my goal.
I want to thank Carl, but I want to, we're going to have a little ribbon cutting in the next week or 10 days for some of the stuff around the
great.
playground and the paving. So I'll be back to it, but I'd like to preserve this, have it for our packet for the advisory board for the December meeting.
Happy to.
Yeah,
Especially the highlighted part where we're 149,000.
that's
which is good.
fantastic. That's great.
Yeah.
Good, it really is. As I
Yes.
said, there were certain questions about that, so I'm very pleased to see that. Sure, we're all pleased to see that. It's great.
Good to hear.
Keep up the good work.
Will do.
Okay. Any other questions for Carl?
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carl.
Good. Very good.
Okay, in a little bit.
Commissioners.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Okay,
I think
thank you.
Scott's on if you want to take Scott.
We're gonna go on to Scott, so,
I'm going to make a motion to go in executive
yeah, I
session.
do.
Okay.
Is he here?
Item 7, motion for executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, subsection A, subsection 3. Discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation. Is that the right one?
306.
Yes, it's a collective litigation. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on bargaining or litigation body. Did I make the motion? Second.
Motion to go into executive session. Hello? Hello? folks. We're not in yet. Wait 1 minute.
Right, go again. So,
Commissioner Stady,
yes, sir.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
and Commissioner Shea votes to go into executive session. I will stay, but at the end of the executive session, we're gonna come back out to complete our regular agenda.
And do you clear that, so
And I
declare
have declared that
it would have a detrimental effect?
it has a detrimental
Okay.
effect. We're going to discuss strategy. Bill, you will return. No, we're
Nine.
going to return to
Number
number
3.
number
No, I'm sorry,
number
4.
4.
Yeah.
That's correct.
But,
Okay.
does that have to be voted at the trustee meeting? Or
What?
it says joint?
We have to vote it on our end and then the trustees have to vote it on
Okay,
their
I
end.
see. Okay.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We're back on the record at our regularly scheduled meeting of Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. I call your attention, folks, to number 4, the minutes of the open session joint meeting on February 2nd, 2022 for approval.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Any
And
problems?
this is at the commissioner
that?
level.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
It's number 4. It's in the packet, I believe.
Oh, February too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's 2 of
The
them.
wrong one.
And then last week is the second one.
Right. Yeah, motion, you made the motion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Number 5, minutes of the open session joint meeting on October 26, 2022 for approval.
You want that one, Dick?
Yeah, I'll move approval.
Okay, second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote. Number 8, minutes of the joint executive session meeting of October
That's,
26, 2022 for
That's-
approval.
that's actually item 6, but yes, I'll make the motion with the provision that
Not released at this time.
not be released at this time.
Second that motion?
Motion made and seconded on the October 26 meetings. All in favor?
Aye. And all three of those votes, 4, 5, and 6, that's from the commissioner's level. It's not the trustees level.
Correct.
Right.
That will be approved
So
probably
they'll need approval at the trustees,
week.
right?
That's correct.
next week of
Yeah.
trustees.
Right.
Number 9, public comment.
Okay.
Director
Number-
Cronin,
number-
anyone comment?
Number 8, public comment. Yes.
Number 8, public comment.
No public comment.
Okay. Number 9 was Carl Minor. That's complete. Number 10 is old business. I have none. We have none.
No, sir.
Number 11, we have a buku
Yeah.
personnel matter for consideration.
I was going to be,
I see that
I
the
just do them all
the
at once.
in and out house cleaning is going out. These are the summer kids going
Yeah.
off.
with your permission, Mr.
Sure.
Chairman, maybe for the rules of
Bundle
this,
them any way you want.
how about if we bundle up the contingent employment? And then I'll go back for termination.
I'm not even sure if you have to read the names. I can just say so many seasonal
1, 2, 3, 4,
employees.
5, 6.
I think they're all seasonal.
Yeah,
I
for the
believe.
same
I
rate.
just want to make sure they're all,
And they all have a last date as the same. So
all right, I'll see if this motion will fly. I move my motion would be to notice the contingent employment
1, 2, 3, 4.
as well as determination for the various employees at the Wallaston Recreational Facility who are acting in the capacity of a seasonal form of employment. And the dates for all of this first sheet are effective the same, 11/3/2022.
I'll second that.
How's that?
Yeah.
All right?
That's an excellent motion.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye. And then you have the,
I
It
got
is a vote.
yeah,
Right, and then notice of termination of Liam Donovan of Milton and termination of Abraham Earl of Quincy as seasonal ground crews. Again, on the second sheet, Wallaston Recreational Facility, effective date 11/3/2022. So
second.
Motion made and seconded.
makes it easy.
2 terminations on seasonal ground crew. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is a vote. Number 13, payroll and expense warrants for
All right.
approval.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, we have 6 items to cover today. First item, I'll move approval of 23-18 payroll of the county, $136,851.06. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
Second item, Mr. Chairman, 23-18, parentheses 9, payroll to school, $342,702.64. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
Third item, Mr. Chairman, line item 23-05, expense of the school, the amount of $271,619.74. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. It is a vote.
Fourth one, Mr. Chairman, 11-01-23, expense of the county, the amount of $351,823.62. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
Next one, Mr. Chairman, 11-1-23, Wallaston Recreation Facility credit card payment, the amount of $18,230. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
And the last one's an opera one. We do this now, right? We're doing it now.
We can do it now.
Sure. All right, so 23-18, opera Town of Norwood, in the amount of $80,000. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded on the opera award of $80,000 to town of Norwood. All in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote.
That concludes
Thank you.
that.
That concludes
Mr. Chairman.
that.
Yep.
Number 14, opera warrants for approval. Do we do Norwood separately now?
No, you just approved it, so that's fine, but I can discuss it now if you'd like.
Director Cronin on
Thank
the
you,
town of
Chair.
Norwood.
So the town of Norwood is our latest ARPA award winner under the water sewer infrastructure category. You approved $80,000. This will allow the town of Norwood to better track and manage stormwater collection system maintenance activities, assess and monitor conditions, repairs, compliance activities, and drive improved decision-making at a higher level of service to all residents of Norwood. This is let's see, improves stormwater asset inventory and mapping, implements maintenance, compliance tracking, and so forth. As I mentioned, this is the latest award from Norwood. I believe they've had 3 or 4 previously. And it fits into the clean water, stormwater category of the water sewer infrastructure of the grant.
That's right. They had, because I remember the one about water metering.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
right? It was Norwood, so how much they got today, do you know?
I don't know.
We can check it, we can look. I was gonna say politely, I was trying to do some research on opera because I was for some project, but we need to update the website because the website only goes like September.
Okay.
Well, if you look at it, we need
That's a
that,
good point.
just to keep track of that, that's all.
Yep.
Otherwise, great job.
Thank you.
That's good. That's
Number
good.
15, we have no bid openings today. Thank you. Number 16, contract awards, we have none. Number 17, report on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021.
Yeah.
Director Cronin.
Thank you, Commissioner Shea. Briefly, the new assistant ARPA coordinator, Bill Buckley, and I held a Zoom meeting this past Monday. We introduced Mr. Galvin to the ARPA portal that is used by all the counties. We gave him the details on the amount of grants that have entered the portal. We navigated, show him the ins and outs of how the portal is not just a representation of grant activity, but also final rule and other documentation, category explanation. It's a rich environment for data and information for anyone managing the grant. We're going to get him read-only access so he can see grant activity, but he won't be able to approve anything. We also covered some ground relative to a point Commissioner Stady brought up last week. We had tasked him with reaching out to 5 communities that we've not heard from, that were sort of dormant and had not submitted applications. And I'll give you a report now from his activities. He followed up and said, the town of Sharon is planning one large PFAS mitigation grant. That sounds very similar to what the town of Wellesley did. If you may remember early on, they were a large grant award for this very same purpose. Foxborough is in a transition period. As you may know, the town manager of Foxborough is retiring or leaving, and I'm not sure what his status is, but the town is prepping water and sewer projects in the coming months. We don't have any further details, but I think we will probably see something similar to what we heard from Stoughton when their town manager left. There's always a transition time as things kind of get reset. Excuse me. The 2 others, Avon has one large sewer and water project which will be in the portal in the next month or so. I have reason to believe that same water and sewer project is the same one that Randolph is going to be working on. We'd spoken to Brian Howard about
Braintree
that.
too, right?
Braintree's part of the same project, but I don't know, Peter, if they're going to be putting in an ARPA award for it.
Yeah,
They could be. But we did hear from Brian months ago when we met with him.
yeah.
And it was something that was kind of rolling in a project that seemed very,
Right.
you're working with Tri-County or Tri-Towns.
Right.
It's never smooth. So Avon's in the same boat. And then finally, Mr. Galvin reports, Randolph is prepping confirming this one large sewer and water project as part of the Tri-Town Water Consortium with Avon and Braintree. So confirming that.
All
So,
right.
so that is your update.
Yeah.
There was only
Good.
one community he was not able to get a hold of. He will continue to try to reach Cohasset. So more on that later.
That would be good.
Excuse me.
Can't forget them.
That
So
is-
just a quick follow-up too, and that's confirm some of the things I saw. I think Foxborough too, to some degree, was using the not entitled units
No.
and non-entitled. There, I'll get eventually I'll get it. They're using that, and as far as our money, they're not into it yet. And you're right, because I'm trying to delve into Foxborough a little bit, and it's the transition time, like you said. But they got time. They got time.
They do.
Yeah.
One of the things we also did, I went through the budget with Mr. Galvin just to show him how structurally the awards are made, how our administrative costs are bearing out, how our county projects are sort of lingering as a looming cost. He was overall impressed with the county's preparedness and readiness to manage the grant. And one of the things I emphasized to him was, look, when you're talking with our communities, one of the messages is going to become more and more important. You're right, Dick. Today they have time.
Right.
But as we get closer to 2023,
Yeah.
the obligation period of closing out your projects by the end of 2024 will collapse quickly. It will happen quickly. Communities will probably be looking to find creative ways to obligate those funds beyond 2024. And that's what's that's what's got me a little concerned, because I want to make sure communities are well aware of the timeline, that they have their projects lined up. Remember, if you're planning a project, you're not going to get county money until you're ready to award the contract and you have to obligate your funds. So like Stoughton mentioned, I spoke to Mark Tisdale a lot, and I said to him, Mark, we can't give you the money until you're ready to obligate the funds and sign a contract. Just because you're putting it out to bid, you're not going to get the money, right? Just because you're planning it, you're in design phase, you're not going to get the money. You get the money when you're ready to go and you have to obligate. So that 2-year period, Commissioner Stady, which for all intents and purposes we're in now, goes quickly. And these large capital projects, those things are measured in months. So we'll be very clear with the communities as we get closer and closer to that time frame that they have to obligate. And the ones that can't do it, or the ones that have difficulty committing all their funds, we'll work on ways, as we said, to take the money and redistribute it into communities that have the path forward. All right.
Yep.
So more on that later.
If I could, while still on that, we have the joint meeting. Is that still on too?
Yes, it is.
Is that next Wednesday or the Wednesday after?
16th.
It's coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it's 2 weeks from today.
So we probably should talk about how we're
Changing
going
our
to meet that
meeting?
week.
That way. Yeah.
Okay.
We talked about moving it to a Thursday, I think you said.
We went to a Thursday or
Well,
just bumping it to the following week. We could do that if we want.
Yeah, we can work with the commission.
It kind of depends what you have for an
Yeah.
agenda.
Let's look at the workload this week and then we make a determination.
I think that following day is a bad one, the 17th. I'll check my calendar. If you're going to do it, I'm going to do Tuesday, but I don't want to, let you know. We can talk about it. We can talk about it later. But I notice that that's the same day we usually meet, right? The Wednesday?
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Mhm.
Any reason, where is it? In Plymouth?
Plymouth, yeah.
It is. Matthew Hanley, the assistant treasurer, contacted Mr. Buckley today and sent a very interesting email. He was looking to confirm the head count for the meal that is awaiting.
For
So
what?
the meal that they're preparing.
And
So
it's going to be where?
I don't believe I remember the location. I'm going to guess it's the plantation, but I'm not completely sure.
Okay,
More on that later.
all right, well, I'd like to resolve it by next week, so maybe we can plan.
Mhm.
Maybe we could, do you want to do it all in one day? Come in at 9 and go right down there? Is that?
No, I think we should probably wait until
All
after
right,
next week's
okay.
meeting to size up what's on the agenda.
I'm open to
It's a
any
little early. But I hear you.
resolution. I just don't want to,
Yep.
I don't want to, if there's any business to be done, we'll do it.
Got it.
Any other questions of the county director? Number 19.
Thank you, John. Good job.
Emergency items that the chair did not originally anticipate.
Can we go to number
We
18,
discussed.
Mr. Chairman?
I don't have any. Yes, whatever.
Could we go to number 18?
Number 18, I'm sorry. Report of the county director, a continuation of, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Buckley.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, thank you.
This is the
So,
offer from
Pete.
Stan.
our friends at HBO would once again like to rent our back parking lot.
Well, if you could, you're going to bring this in under emergency items that, yeah, Joe skipped over the report of the town. The county.
Go for it.
Stand by 1 second, okay?
Okay.
We'll get to that in just a second. I can give my report, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead,
Um,
Director.
Yesterday, I sent out a reminder to all department heads of the upcoming advisory board schedule for fiscal year 23. A reminder, we will be meeting December 21st with the advisory board. Location has not been confirmed yet, but we will discussing upcoming matters with the chair of the advisory board and the finance committee this Friday. More on that later. Brief facility updates. Mr. McGowan is now sharing weekly updates on the status of projects across Norfolk County. I'll give you a brief update on these items. So the following items have been previously funded and are now either completed or underway. The blue house across the street on Overhill Place has been painted. So you may remember we put a new roof on it. It's now been painted. The windows were purchased but not yet installed. That is a winter project that the maintenance crew will undertake. But when the windows are completed, that building will be fully externally renovated. Paint job Bill and I were by there earlier this week. It looks beautiful.
Is it blue still?
It is not. It's beige. We'll call it blue.
It's not the blows.
The cement work at District Court is complete. A lot of repointing and touch up. They still have some areas around this driveway to complete. Commissioner Stady, you asked a question, I believe it was last week, same one I asked about confirming that the existing downspouts and gutters at Brookline District Court will make it through the winter. The vendor has confirmed They appear to be okay for the winter, and the roofing company has assessed that. We're going to come back. Nancy and I talked about that quote, that it was probably not the right market space to ask for that quote. We're going to try it again in the spring, see if we can get a more favorable result than that very high quote that we did receive. Masonry work will be going, the mason will be going to the Rentham District Court to look at the front stairs. They'll be using a rubberized caulking to secure a lot of the areas that have opened up over the last several years. There's a light pole being put up in the municipal lot across the street. A steam leak was, we were over in facilities, was that Monday or Friday? I can't remember. And Mr. McGowan came in and showed us a picture of a steam pipe in the registry building, probably original to the buildings, cast iron, and it was leaking steam and had burst about a 10-foot section. So that has been repaired and replaced, but you forget how old that building is, and some of the infrastructure, of course, is showing wear and tear, but they took care of that. That is done. You can hear some work outside the office today. Joe Feeney and members of the maintenance crew are doing a rehab of the kitchen area here in the commissioner's office. They're also doing some work downstairs in the treasurer's office relative to widening the opening in the men's room for ADA compliance. The treasurer's office is also getting a delivery of furniture for the line staff this Friday. The new ceiling, the new suspended ceiling will be going in shortly following the approval of the smoke detector permits. So there's some disruptive but improving work being done right now within 614 High Street.
Yeah.
But the next couple of weeks, things will look a lot better.
How about the ladies' rooms?
Yeah, well, that's all tied to the permit for the smoke detector, so that'll start right after we get the permit.
Okay.
It's both bathrooms downstairs and the ladies' room up here, so it's 3 altogether. The Rentham District Court, we're still waiting on a paint selection by the judge. They were doing some internal assessments there. Stoughton District Court, the roofers did some work on the punch list. There's still some small items associated with that. I'm watching the dialogue between Crowley Engineering, Ambient, and our maintenance people, down to a handful of punch list items.
There's still a few though.
Yeah,
There is
there
a
were a
few.
couple.
Yeah.
The work on the Stoughton District Court exterior lighting has been completed. And that is it from our friends at the facilities. They've been busy.
Was
getting
that in the
ready for
back that we
winter.
talked about?
Yep.
Great.
That
That's
work has
good.
been done.
That's good.
Let's see. Next week, commissioners, you will have at least 3 new hires coming, some exciting new developments. Blue papers will be forthcoming. We'll give you the details on that next week. Just want to give you a heads up.
CIO.
Yes. There was also, I have a request from an employee to examine vacation accrual. I will not discuss the personnel name, but this is an employee's matter. So I'm going to hand this to both of you if you could review.
Okay.
We'll put this on the agenda for your approval next week. Michelle and I have looked at personnel handbook as it currently exists, rule number 1. There is some benefit to employees who are hired by the county who have previously worked for the Commonwealth, and the benefit obviously includes a vacation accrual. So the letter from
Only the
Michelle.
Commonwealth or is the city of Concord?
Yeah, I was looking to see if that language said city. I know it says
What's going to be?
or any political subdivision there are.
Okay.
Please review that. If you have any questions, reach out to Michelle. But that'll be before you next week for your consideration as well. Collective bargaining discussions continue. We met with the registry and engineers this week. We made progress. As you can imagine, as we are so far along in this process, I think we're up to the 8th meeting with both groups. We've really narrowed it down to a couple of issues at this point. So we're trying very hard to find some common ground and resolve the differences. We have scheduled additional meetings for November 14th to try and get there, but I'll keep the commissioners updated. And Joe, if you would like to join us for any of the upcoming meetings as we
I'm
get
ready.
closer, let me know. I want to make an announcement that I think complements an announcement that was made by Michelle Labadini, our Human Resources Director, that on December 1st, which I think is a Thursday, the Smart Plan representative will be at the registry for 6 hours. The time frame is not yet known, but you can imagine it'll be during work hours. The Commissioner's Office has received a new batch of COVID test kits. We ordered 90 more. These will take us through the winter. we'll be getting those out to the departments over the next week or so. The commissioners received, I thought, a very nice thank you from the Dedham Square Circle. If you haven't received a copy of it, Mr. Buckley did forward it to your emails. They were very grateful. I think one of the things that struck me was the size of the event.
Yeah.
2,500 kids enjoyed a day of trunk or treating across the street this past weekend in a safe and very fun environment. So they were very, very gracious and thankful for your help in that. This Friday, I finally scheduled a meeting with the trial courts and their HVAC experts and engineers. We're going to meet here in the morning and travel over for a tour of Superior Court, hopefully district. But I spoke with the gentleman earlier in the week about the need to focus in on each of our 5 courts' unique heating, cooling environments to identify ways to become more efficient and through that efficiency, find a path, if there is one, for the use of ARPA funds to make those improvements. He alerted me to a project that preceded my arrival at the county. The state conducted a review of all courthouses, including Norfolk County courthouses. A firm called Ty and Bond did a report that I'm sure Nancy and John McGowan and others participated in. It was COVID-driven as they try to understand all the vulnerabilities and challenges that each of the courts have, but it's rich with details about each court's profile. So I'll be studying that and talking with these HVAC experts to find out a path forward on things that we have discussed relative to energy efficiency, excuse me, as well as use of ARPA funds to achieve those improvements. I believe that is all I have at this point, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions, Director Cronin?
No, so you touched on Stoughton, Mr. Chairman, you did. There was something else I was going to talk to you about. All right, that's good.
Nice job, John.
Yeah.
Director Buckley, what do you have for us?
We'll come in under number 19.
Number 19,
Through Mr.
any
Chair.
other items or topics that I didn't anticipate having? You are it.
Through Mr. Chair, we got a nice email yesterday from Matt Malia, who is a local kid who does site work and advance community relations for a number of production companies. This one in particular he was emailing about was on behalf of HBO. As you may know, they filmed their first season of Julia down the street, I think 2 or 3 blocks into Precinct 1, and used our parking lot on a number of occasions. They're now filming at the Endicott Estate, but because we were so easy to work with, they would like to do some parking for their extras in the back lot of your main lot next to the Blue House next Wednesday. Obviously, the email came in yesterday. The request is for next Wednesday, so it didn't have time to get on the agenda, but they're only looking now for about 40 spaces. We have over 200 back there. We don't anticipate it being a problem. Again, it's an opportunity to generate some quick revenue, continue to encourage economic development here in the county seat. Good thing I just pulled up the trailer for season 1, which I believe started in March. They're filming season 2 of Julia, which is apparently fairly popular. I haven't watched it.
So 40 spaces, and if we can do it November 9th.
That's correct.
Right, so I would move that we grant to, who we granting it?
HBO.
Renting.
HBO.
We are renting.
We are
We're not
renting,
granting,
okay. We
because
are
they're not our
renting
neighbors.
to HBO?
That I
Or would it
believe
be
so. Yeah.
to this gentleman here?
He's working on behalf of HBO.
Right, so we are going to rent to Matt Malia, acting as agent for HBO, 40 spaces, or sufficient spaces at the Registry of Deeds to accommodate 40 vehicles for November 9th, subject to review by the Director of Registry of Deeds.
Sure.
That's all.
Probably not even
Motion
subject to
made.
review, but.
Yeah, we'll inform them.
Inform.
Motion made and seconded to grant to HBO 40 spaces for rental. at
I should add, Mr.
Registry
May
of
add
Deeds.
9 to 10, when hours of 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Forward that to the Registry of Deeds, though, before we.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, one quick item I forgot, if I could.
Sure.
Just another alert, commissioners, as I think I mentioned last week. Next week, I'll have before you the settlement agreement relative to a ratification of the Norfolk County Maintenance Unit contract. on October 25th, the maintenance unit voted in favor to accept the settlement agreement dated October 17th between the commissioners and local 2417. That memorandum will be before you for signature and agreement next week.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
I think I mentioned it prior, but we'll bring it before you next week. Thank you.
Did you mention something about ARPA
Commissioners,
for the county? I'm sorry. In relation to that, do we have to see that in the warrant or is that? You mentioned there might be a use of
It's,
ARPA. for that.
yes,
Am I right on that?
the application is pending. So when
Okay.
it's ready, I'll bring it before you
Okay.
for approval.
Okay, great,
Mhm.
great. All right. Nice to see Stoughton get some satisfaction.
Great.
Is that the single largest award we've given out?
I was
I think-
thinking that. I believe it
I think
is.
it's,
I
because
thought
Quincy
Quincy
got
was
4
7
million.
million. I thought Quincy was 7 million.
No, four.
Single,
Yeah.
single award.
So,
We'll tell the mayor. he'll be
yeah,
coming
let's
in
go.
9 million.
Get him going. There you go. All right. Will we adjourn?
Anything else, commissioners? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Will we adjourn at 2:12?
That
Sure.
sounds good. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
All
Thank
right.
you.